Hi, I'm Jamie.
I'm Shelby and this is Reggie. And this is Bella.
We travel the globe in our self-converted Iveco daily named Ivy.
You are now watching Expedition Rebellions!
What is up, you guys? Today I'm going to show you how to make a Nature's Head composting toilet for under £50. Can you believe they charge £1,000 for these things? What you will need is a storage container. Depending on what size you want your Nature's Head toilet is dependent on how big of storage container you want and how much material you want it to hold. You'll also need some bars of steel. If you haven't got a welder, you'll need some screwed rod as well. You will also need some computer fans. The cheaper the better, just to make sure they are efficient. You'll also need a compact camping toilet made from plastic. I'm going to start off by doing the brackets for the container underneath. If you ain't got a welder, you're going to need a welder if you're doing it the way I'm going to do it. But if you haven't got a welder, you can just use some kind of like a screwed rod and just if you could use screwed rod and fix the metal up with the screwed rod, you could use it that way. I'm going to make a kind of bracketing system so it's easier to take off. If you do it with a screw rod, every time you go to take the container off, you're going to have to unscrew the rod to take the container off. It's going to be a bit of a pain. I'm going to make some kind of brackets where you can just literally like take a strap off and then the container is going to come out, drop off, take it away, empty it, put it back on, push it on, strap up and then go again. So you are going to need, if you want to do it the way I'm going to do it, you're going to need a welder or find a little local like fabrication shop or like that, get them to do it. 2 welds, it's not going to be much money. Make it. So I'm just going to try and do it the simplest way possible, and I'm just going to cut it straight at the top here. If you wanted to get all fancy and do a proper weld, you could cut an angle at the bottom, 45 angle on that, and then weld it together. But I'm just going to try and make it as simple as possible because people who haven't done much metal work before, makes it easy for everyone. So yeah, just mark them both out, pretty simple, ready to cut now. But yeah, just a quick reminder, if you haven't got a chop saw, you can always use a grinder. I was going to use a grinder before this, to be fair, because it's easier than getting this thing out, but this just makes a straight cut. But yeah, grinder's fine. So now we're going to use these pieces of metal, what's left, to do the piece of steel on the bottom that holds the actual container. We're going to start by cutting these halfway across the container box. So the distance of halfway across the container box, that's just so that the container can come out. It's got enough room to shuffle out and then drop back down. We're going to weld them up, test them. If I need to cut more off, I can cut more off while it's underneath and it's all bolted up with the grinder. But I'm hoping that half will be enough. I want as much support holding the container as possible, but obviously it's going to get strapped up to the back of it, so it's not a problem if we do have to cut a little bit more off, but we're trying to keep it as sturdy as possible as it's going to sit underneath the van. So now the cutting's done, we're just going to quickly grind off the edges and make it all look smart. I think the big thing is with welding, to get a good tack, to get a good hold, is preparing well, preparing your steel well. And once your steel's prepared well, you don't even have to have that good of weld to actually weld it. Try and make sure the welds will hold, because you can have a lot of material going on top of this. And the last thing you want is to be driving down the road and it all to spill out all over the floor. And basically you'll be shoveling shit back into another container just to try and take it and dispose of it, what you don't want. So yeah, this is quite crucial. But it's not like hefty weight. You're talking about 20 kilograms when it's full, and if your welding's good enough, there's nothing to worry about. So both of the brackets now finished. They're ready to get clamped underneath the van once I've had a Campervan, because it is quite cheap steel. This, it rusts quite easily. But before I get my Campervan, I'm just gonna get the container ready to be clamped underneath. So what I need to do is put the fans on and get air holes. The biggest thing about this is the air holes, what are actually getting put onto it, is gonna allow a lot of air coming in, a lot of air going out, and try and dry off the material going inside as quickly as possible. That's the main game. So the longer it takes for the material to dry off inside the container, the worse the smell is going to be, and for the longer the smell is going to be as well. So the plan is for as much air circulation inside there as we can get, and the material will dry very fast. Right, so I'm going to get on with that now. So now it's time to get onto the storage container. What we need to do is we need to drill as many holes through this as we can, really, without it affecting the structural integrity of this box. The holes are going to have to be planned though, where we drill these holes, because of many reasons. Main reason is that when we come to empty this box, lid it up like that, the box will be emptied like that. So that means we don't want any holes on this side of the box, so the material falls out easy. The last thing you want is the material to get stuck in some of these holes and you be having to clean it down, stuff like that. I want this to be as minimal maintenance as possible. I just want to put a pair of gloves on, empty the box, shut it again, put it back on. That's enough for another 20 days. So yeah, time to drill the hole. The best option is probably like a 10mm drill bit, and to do as many holes as you can do on the sides and the back. We've got a new box. We'll have to try this again. Since the first one was an epic failure, the second one I'm hoping will go a lot better. So after about half an hour of me scratching my head and figuring out how to fit it, because this does not now fit inside the hole of where it was supposed to go, we're going to have to make it move around slightly and fit between another place. What's fine, it's fine. I've come to realise this place might be better, to be fair, than where I originally wanted it. But I'm going to have to adapt to these brackets slightly. I'm not going to video because I don't think there's any point. It's just another piece what's going to go on end here to bracket it on. So yeah, I'll get on with that. So I finally got the brackets done, ready for painting. Again, all I've changed is that basically, where's the trip one? All done. All I've changed is the top bit. This is where it's going to get bolted to the frame now. You got to understand that it's going to be different on different vans. I'm going to show you how I've done mine when I come to bolt it on. But in every van it's going to be different. Sometimes you're going to need the box underneath the van, because obviously the van is more higher up. Some people might want to put the box inside the van, where you're going to have to build a cassette for it to go into, a holder for it to go into, and the box just underneath. You can slide the box out quite simply. There's many ways of doing it, but this is the way I'm choosing, just because for me it saves space. If you're wanting to make the container inside the van, you're going to have an inlet and an outlet of air And what you'd have to do, you'd have one fan either side, and then you'd have to make some kind of housing, or if you can buy a housing for the fan down to, I don't know, an 80, 100 mil insulated tube, or just a normal aluminium tube. One fan with the inlet sucking the air in, and one fan as an outlet blowing the air out, and just moving the air through with no other gaps. This would have to all be sealed to try and not make as much smell as possible. Freedom! As you can see, they all have holes in them. Apart from this side had nothing. Going from the outside, the holes are arranged. Big hole at the top, because obviously I don't think the material will make it to this level. Small hole at the bottom. Material will not be able to get through. I'll be surprised if it did get through. None on that side. This is a lot broke up on this side because it's got a bit still with the flexibility of that side. Same on the small bottom. Big hole at the top, small bottom inside the fans. Make sure your fans turn correct. Make sure the fans are facing the right way as well. Big holes through the inside the fans. These fans are not going to be on constantly as well. They're only going to be on when we do use the toilet. So while you're having the toilet, it's going to blow the air, so it's sucking in from the top and outwards, making the smell 0 to none, hopefully. So we've just got the brackets back from them drying. We're going to stick them underneath the van, find out where they need drilling to get bolted up, bring them back in, drill them on the pillar drill, and then we're going to take them out, drill the chassis of the van so they can get mounted up, and then we can find out where the cassette above it is going. Then we can find out where the toilet above it can be put and mounted above inside the van. What I have is a little screwdriver and a little rule just to figure out where these bolts need putting through. So to bolt these to the chassis I'm using M6 bolts, so I'm just going to bore that to 6mm holes. So this is how it looks now with the brackets on. I'll show you. I have to change one of the fans from the side to the long side, as it didn't fit. It wouldn't really have been doing anything because it pushed against the mud flaps. Making it useless, to be fair, so I'd rather have these two sides sucking air out. The next thing I'm going to do is, so if when we're driving the plastic doesn't crack, I'm going to put some rubber mats, adhesive rubber mats, see them? On the bottoms of these brackets. It's just so that when it's bobbling along, if it does have any movement of any kind, it's not going to crack the tub. I don't think it would anyway, but it's extra precaution just in case. And then the next thing after that is I'm going to get these brackets. I'm going to bracket it up. Get these straps, sorry. Yeah, so after that, then I'm going to get these straps, clamp them to the bottom, and then the top is going to have some kind of ratchet. You don't want that bit. You can keep it, on yours. So what I've done since last time, I've cut the end off the inside of this toilet, so that allows the material just to drop straight down into the container. I have also, what you don't have to do, but I've chosen to do, is cut this flat, this toilet. Cut it perfectly around the outside, and took away the whole bottom. So the reason why I've cut it so thin, that is so that basically it's just for storage. Where the toilet is, I can still put things into store inside there. If I had a big plastic toilet there, then that's the only thing what's going to fit there. Now what I can do is put the baby pram on top of this area, and it'll fit perfectly. And if we want to go to the toilet, we'll move the baby pram out, put it back in. It would be nice to have a full-size toilet, but we use the toilet like 10 seconds, 30 seconds of the day. It's not a need. The only thing what's left to do now is cut the top of this out. So I'm going to cut in the top of that, and then get it all connected and see what it's like.